Hello again, a very warm welcome to you all. My name is Deni Kay, here today with a bottle of the 2024 Kilkerran 8-year-old sherry cask strength. This was bottled at 57.4%. It is an annual release. I will say it is one of the very few annual releases that I actually anticipate. I actually wait for, look out for, and buy every single year. Now, for those of you that have watched my videos in the past, you'll know that I'm a big fan and that I'm a huge fan of the 2021 8-year-old, which was bottled at 56.9% and also a sherry cask. I have bought as much of that as I could possibly get my hands on since then. However, since then, some of these 8-year-olds, the sherry, the port, for example, have been a little bit of a hit and miss. I'll get this out of the way. This one is a hit. I really like this one. I did actually say, so you know I'm going to get into the smell, the taste, give you my thoughts, give it a score, all of that sort of stuff. But I said a moment ago, those that have watched my videos will know that I'm a fan of that one. What I do notice is that have my subscribers watch, and then a huge amount of people who are not subscribers watch. If you are one of these people that have never seen me before, seeing me once again, but don't subscribe, hit the subscribe button. That way you can continue to join me for these reviews. Now, I'm going to go through smell, taste, as I said, give this a score. I actually visited Glengyle Distillery not even a year ago, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about the distillery as well. I had the nose covered because I opened this only a few days ago with a friend of mine who came to visit from abroad, and what I did find is that if you give this a little bit of time in the glass, it becomes really creamy. And on the nose, what I'm getting to begin with is, it is creamy. It is a creamy white chocolate. Then from there, berries, loads of berries, mainly raspberries, overripe strawberries as well. Then some dried fruits. There is some peat, there is some smoke. Of course there is. Why? Because what goes into Springbank is what goes into Kilkerran. So they both start their life off exactly the same. The barley is the same. They go into the same casks. The peat level, ppm, exactly the same. The only difference is that they are distilled in two different distilleries, even though they're literally within walking distance, on two different stills. So Glengyle Distillery Kilkerran use the old Ben Weaver stills, and they're two wash stills, but one's been converted into a spirit still. And this stuff is produced 3 months of the year, whereas Springbank Distillery runs 9 months of the year. So Glengyle, unfortunately, runs 3 months of the year when Springbank is closed for maintenance. Now, anyway, where do I get to up to the nose? Dried fruits. Then, it's a little bit waxy. Now what I'm getting is I'm getting some waxed brown paper, some pencils as well. The one thing that is missing from this that I like and I've disliked about previous releases, I found that some of the previous 8-year-old batches have been almost too spirit driven for me, which I have not liked at all. This one is a little funkier as well, which I really dig. Big impact. The taste on this is much like the nose. All the notes that I mentioned in terms of the aroma, also there in flavor, but flipped. Now I did say that obviously this has a level of peat on it. On the nose, it is very well integrated. The alcohol is very well integrated, as is the peat. There's a lot more smoke on the palate. Then it is spice to begin with that big impact. Then comes the fruit. Then also some Marie biscuits, if you know what they are. They are a little bit of a sweeter biscuit, but not overly sweet. Chocolate, yes, absolutely. On the nose, I mentioned white chocolate. Taste, it is a dairy chocolate. As I come through to the finish, the alcohol starts to die down. Spice, the fruit, the smoke lingers. Now, I've tried this with water. The problem for me once I add water to this is it becomes way creamier, positive. Really love that. Spicier, not a huge fan of too much spice, and even also a little bit astringent. It tastes great as it is. You don't have to add anything to it. Now, I like it. I'll give you a bit of a maybe comparison so you know whether you will like it if you've not already bought a bottle of this. Now I've bought a bottle and I've actually gone back and bought more bottles of this because I really, really like it. So if you like clean, balanced sherry cask whiskey that is not as impactful, it is really rounded and smooth and easy to drink, this is not it. This has layers on it. It has your peaks and troughs in terms of your flavors and the impact and the experience that you'll have with it. If you like whiskey that it is even more on the peatier side, you'll probably dig this because this has more of a smoke influence to it than I expected it to, especially on the palate. So that will probably appeal to you if you like that. Now, in terms of scoring, I can't quite go to an 8. An 8 is a very high score for me. It is above a 7.5. What would get it up to an 8 or even further for me is if it were funkier. Now, if it were funkier and if it had a little bit less spice, then for me, this would be absolute hit out of the ballpark, a home run. I really like it for what it is though. As I said, I've gone out and bought more bottles of it. So for me, this is a good one, which is why I wanted to sit down and actually do what I'm hoping is a short review. Hopefully it's not gone for too long because you do know that I have the tendency to, I can talk about this stuff all day. Anyway, so I'll leave it at that then. My review and thoughts on the Kilkerran 2024 8-year-old sherry cask, cask strength. Thank you very much for joining me. Cheers to you. Till next time.